Welcome to the Lose Your Big Ass Stomach podcast. I'm your host, Jay Jackson, and my mission here is to help you get rid of that big ass stomach and take back control of your health so that you can look and feel your best by being the best version of yourself, mentally and physically, while destroying the mediocre agenda society is trying to brainwash you into, and breaking our families' generational curses of being unhealthy by being a healthy and fit role model. It's time to set a new standard. It's time to set a new standard of living. If you find the podcast helpful, be sure to hit that follow button because that helps us build a movement. Let's go.
Guys, if you know you've been struggling with some visceral fat, and what I mean by that is when you put your clothes or your suits on, they don't fit comfortably like they used to. You're like, man, I just look so much better if I could just get rid of this stomach right here. Or if you notice that you're having brain fog in the morning or in the middle of the day after you get done eating lunch, or if you have high blood pressure, what do they call that? The silent killer, right? We don't know it. A lot of people don't realize this. They think they don't look bad. They think things are not bad, but we can't see high blood pressure. And so, if you're out here grinding, trying to chase your ambition, and you're like, man, I don't know what it is. I just feel some resistance. You can't outwork high blood pressure. Okay. So you got to improve your habits to be able to improve your performance. And so we're going to talk about it today. I'm going to give you some eating tips. Okay. Some eating tips for high performers. If you have a very demanding career, you have a very busy schedule, busy lifestyle, and you, at work and at home, and all the responsibilities that you have, these things will help you speed up, meaning you're going to be more productive. You're going to be able to get better results, make more money. I bet that'll catch your attention. You'll be able to make more money and be able to enjoy time with your family. Okay. And so let's go ahead and dive on in. A lot of people, when they think about eating habits, most people think just weight loss. That's what most people think. But a lot of people don't realize when you eat the right way, it just makes every other area of your life better. Not only do you lose weight, you look better, right? You have more confidence. You have more energy, not just physically, but mentally. I'm pretty sure somebody's listening right now and you have a very high stress lifestyle. What makes your lifestyle so stressful is that if you don't have the time, if you don't have the energy to execute with the time that you have, it makes it more stressful. You can have two people, guys. They can have the same career, and both of them can be stressed, but one person can be 30 pounds overweight, 50 pounds overweight, tired, right? They can still get the work done, but the way they're going to feel is going to feel more stressful. Okay. But then you can have the person too, who has better energy. They can still push the gas, push the needle. You know what I'm saying? You're ambitious. You're a go-getter. So you want to work hard. It's just not going to feel as stressful if you have the proper energy. Okay. And so that's what we're going to be talking about. How to eat the proper way for not just image and looks, but also you want to feel well. You want to live well. And if you're like me, you want to enjoy your life. Okay. And so here's the first thing you got to make. Here's the first shift you got to make. You got to stop skipping meals, guys. This is one of the biggest things as I have a lot of conversations with people on Facebook, on Instagram, I see people just skipping meals. They're like, yeah, I don't really eat in the morning. Sometimes I'll eat in the afternoon, but I really won't eat until dinner. I don't know why I can't lose weight. Maybe I need to eat more. And I'm just thinking to myself, like, that's dysfunction. Like people who, people who eat that way, they think they're fasting, but in reality, it's creating eating disorders. Okay. Because when you don't really eat enough meals, it causes a lot of stress, guys. Okay. And via brain fog, via mental exhaustion. If you're going throughout the entire day and you forget to eat, and then you eat dinner, and you're like, man, I don't know why I can't stop eating. Man, I don't know why I have these sugar cravings. It's because it's silent stress because you're not eating. And so if you keep skipping meals, the people who I see who are doing this, it's like these people are like 30, 50, 100 pounds overweight. And it's like they're only eating like one meal a day. But here's the thing. Studies show that if you're not eating meals, if you're skipping meals, it causes you to overeat in the evening. Isn't that crazy? I remember at one point, I was getting my CDL license because my dad had a trucking company, and they had this thing called sleep debt. Like, people who are truckers, they'll understand this. Like, that's why by law, truck drivers have to pull over and they have to get a certain amount of sleep hours. They have to track these things, because if they don't track it, they can lose their license. And so I say this because if they're not getting enough sleep and they're on the road, they can start to just go to sleep out of nowhere. They can just pass out because of sleep debt. They're not getting enough sleep to be well rested enough to drive a load across the states. You see what I'm saying? And so how does this happen with nutrition? You have energy debt, okay? Calorie debt. From the time you wake up in the morning until the time you eat in the evening, there's a deficit that happens. Your energy level starts to drop. Your blood sugar starts to drop. Even your mental, cognitive functioning. Like, you can't think as efficiently. You start to feel like brain fog and low energy. That's what happens. There's a decline that happens. And some people who just have a lot of willpower and pain tolerance, you can muscle through it, guys, but it doesn't mean that you're not still human. And so by you being human, there's still a decline that happens. And so if you're binge eating, overeating, sugar cravings in the evening time, feeling mentally exhausted, it's because you're skipping meals. That's why you can overeat. You can eat 2,000 calories in food and Simply Lemonade, sodas, juice, just in the evening from just that one meal. This is what a lot of people are doing. And so you got to stop skipping meals, and you got to create some structure with what you're doing. Okay. You need to eat more meals more frequently throughout the day. 2 or 3 meals is all you can eat, guys. You don't have to do like the generic bodybuilders and trainers out there telling you got to eat 6, 7 meals a day. You don't have to do that. Okay. You need to have a system that works for you. Like some of my coaching clients, some of them come in very busy, demanding careers. They work in tech, they are law enforcement, things like that, real estate investors, that grinding, hustlers. You know what I'm saying? They don't have time to be in the kitchen cooking 6, 7 meals a day. I don't even want to do that. So, some of them eat 3 meals. When I map out their nutrition plan, some of them eat 3. Some of them eat 2. And then some of them have 1 or 2 snacks around those meals to support their energy needs, not just weight loss. This is why a lot of people who just follow this generic nutrition advice lose weight and gain it back. They keep losing weight, then gain it back. Because I see it all the time on my advertisements that I'm running. People be like, you don't need nothing, just eat less and move more. Guys, if it was that simple, everybody be walking around butt naked. Everybody would be in shape with abs and all cut up and toned up, loving the way they look. They'd be like, oh, you look good. But I look good too, though. I look real good. But that's not the case, because it's not just eat less, move more. You got to have the right structure that supports you, okay, when it comes to your eating habits. So that's the first thing. But stop skipping these meals, guys. Second thing, most people just focus on calorie intake, but high performers who are like elite, who are really getting to it, they not just, successful in their career, but they look the part, they prioritize protein, guys. You got to prioritize protein. This is not a bodybuilder thing. This is not a exercise fitness enthusiast thing. No, if you want to look your best and feel your best, you have to eat food that are dense in nutrients. Okay. And proteins are one of the most important macros. You have proteins, carbs, and fats. Protein, you can have 2 people. One person who there's studies that show this, guys. I'm not just talking just to talk. You can have 2 people. One person who just focuses on calorie intake, and the other person focuses on calorie intake, but also their protein intake. That second person, both can still lose weight, but that second person is going to drop more body fat, which means my men and women who want to look good in your clothes, have some tone and definition when you take your clothes off, you need to be person 2. So ask yourself, are you person 1 right now, or are you person 2? Do you know how much protein you're eating? And if you don't, you're in luck, because I'm getting ready to share it with you. I'm about to tell it to you. So on a daily basis, like, you got to know your calorie intake, but on a daily basis, you want to multiply your current body weight times 0.8 if you want to eat a lower amount of protein. Some people, they don't really care to eat a whole lot of protein. But other people like myself, I rather lean towards a heavier protein diet, because your boy want to have all the gains. I want to be lean cut up for life. You know what I'm saying? And so you can eat as high as 1.2 grams of protein times your current body weight. Okay. I think I said something about calories earlier, but here's what it looks like. You multiply 0.8 times your current body weight for the lower amount of protein, and then 1.2 times your current body weight to get a higher amount of protein. Okay. Now, obviously, for my big guys and gals, you're a little heavier. If you're 300 pounds, 280, guys, you don't need to be eating no 280 grams of protein a day. No, you don't need to do that. Okay. And so you want to look at like, you want to be multiplying your current body weight more around like 0.8. Okay. So if you're like 280 and up, 300 and up, it should be 0.8 times your current body weight. Another way that you can look at this is, each meal that you eat, for my men, your protein intake should be somewhere around 6 to 8 ounces of protein, depending on how many meals you eat. Okay. And then for my ladies, your protein intake should be somewhere around 3 to 5 grams of 3 to 5 ounces of protein per meal. Okay. And that's for my ladies. And you notice how I give you that range, because it's going to be specific to each person. Like, guys, I can't give you a specific amount that you need to eat. That would be cookie cutter. If I just said that, like, hey, all my ladies just eat 3 ounces of protein per meal. Some of y'all will be starving, while others, you'll be losing weight. You feeling good. But the folks who starving, like, oh, this is terrible. I can't keep up with this. Or the guys who they eat 6 ounces, the guys who eating 6 ounces, some of them are going to be starving because it may not be enough for them. And so there's going to be some guys who need to eat more than 6 ounces of protein. But I'm giving you a range, okay? Because I've been doing this over 16 years, and this is what I typically see when I'm helping, men and women with their nutrition. But it's critical, okay? I notice the people in my coaching program who are like getting the best results, they prioritize their nutrition. They're not guessing, y'all, okay? You have some people who do well because they just like, oh, I'm just going to start eating more mindfully, because I'm inside of a coaching program. I spent this money. I need to do something right. I need to hold myself accountable. But they're not doing it all the way correctly. And it's very noticeable because as a coach, like, I'm paying attention to everything my members do. We do weekly check-ins. They have to upload their meals and their photos of their meals inside our community. And so I'm seeing the people who are posting meals and getting results, and people who are posting meals and they're just like getting life-changing results. The people who are getting life-changing results, eating way more protein. They're not just focused on calories. They're not just focused on eating healthy. That's what most people try to do. I'm just going to eat healthy. I'm just going to eat salads. I'm going to cut out the sugar. I'm going to cut out the sweet teas and the sodas and the lemonades. And guys, if you're like morbidly obese, you might be able to get away with that and drop a little bit of weight. But if you want to lose belly fat and keep it off, you want to have good energy and not have to worry about brain fog. You don't want to have to worry about high blood pressure and end up having a stroke because you have high blood pressure and you have this very stressful and demanding career. Because guys, you keep on trying to outwork the people who are trying to outwork their poor nutrition and got 30, 50 plus pounds on them. These folks be having strokes. They just ain't telling y'all. I just spoke to somebody the other day. I'm not going to say the name because they actually joined the coaching program. But they say they had a stroke. And it was like, I asked them on our game plan call. I was like, because this is serious to me, guys. And I was like, so, you've been having a tough time with this high blood pressure and this type 2 diabetes. I think she had got high blood pressure, diagnosed with high blood pressure like a year or so ago, or type 2 diabetes. It was one of them. And I was like, if you don't make any changes to your lifestyle, like to what you're doing. Like, what's life look like in the next year, 2 or 3 years? And she was like, she got real quiet, and she was like, I might even have another stroke. And I was just like, I was thinking, man, and this is somebody who's nearing towards retirement. Can you imagine working so hard to accomplish success and build wealth just to retire and have a stroke? And sometimes, y'all, when folks have strokes, they lose like mobility. Some people lose like facial function. They can't even feel their face, y'all. I mean, when I was a kid, I grew up in the soul food culture. And I stayed with my great auntie and her boyfriend at one point in my life. I was kind of like the family child. And her boyfriend, they used to talk all the time. His name was Abram. And Abram, he used to eat the chitlins and the pork chops and all the stuff that she used to cook. And one day, Abram had a stroke. And ever since that day happened, y'all, I was maybe like 9 or 10 years old when this happened. He never spoke again. I never heard him say another word. He would like make noises. He would be like, or like I knew he would be mad when he'd be like, And I'm like, why he ain't just talking? Cause I was a kid, so I didn't really know what was going on. But now I know. And he'd be drooling outside of his mouth, his beard. He used to have a long black beard. And I used to be like, man, what's going on? My friends used to be coming over. I used to be getting mad. I'm like, hey man, you embarrassing me. That's what I'm thinking in my head. I'm like, let's go outside and play football in the street. But I say all that to say these things, if your situation is bad right now, it can get worse if you don't start making some changes to your habits. And these things like strokes, high blood pressure, excess belly fat, visceral belly fat, lifestyle related, y'all. It's not genetics, okay? You're not big boned. It's the habits. Your habits, your lifestyle is based on your habits. Okay. You shift your habits, you can shift your life. Okay. You can shift the results. And so that's the second thing though. You got to start prioritizing protein in your diet. The last thing, you have to shift from just healthy eating to holistic nutrition. Okay. Most people who just focus on trying to lose weight, they just say, well, I'm just about to start eating salads, not realizing you could eat a salad that's 800 calories. 1,000 calories. And imagine if you're a woman, there's women out here who do this all the time. And imagine if a woman, she needs to be eating 1,300 or 1,400 calories and she eats a salad that's 1,000, if not more. And she's wondering why she can't lose weight. Or the guy who's going to Smoothie King. He drinks a smoothie that's like 700-800 calories and he's eating 3-4 meals a day. He's like, why am I not losing no weight, man? I'm eating healthy. I'm drinking healthy. I'm even doing the protein smoothie. What's going on here? It's way more to it than just eating healthy, guys. Okay. When I think about holistic nutrition, I think about energy intake. When you manage your energy, guys, like calorie intake is energy, but all calories are not created equal. A lot of people are eating a lot of empty calories, processed food, chips, crackers, what else? Trail mix, bagels for breakfast, donuts for breakfast. And you could be in a deficit, but you're going to feel terrible. This is why people who are doing these crash diets, they're eating less calories, but the quality of the food makes them feel terrible, and they end up burning out. They end up having brain fog. They feel exhausted, and so they have a little bit of energy. They're just trying to for the lack of better words, they're like just trying to survive to get through the day. They're not really like thriving throughout the day. If that makes sense. It's like some people from the outside looking in, it don't look that bad. And so they kind of like faking the funk. They making it seem like they doing well. They making it seem like everything on point. But deep down, they know like, man, I got to do something, man. If I don't make some changes, like something bad go happen. I don't know what, but I just feel it. That's how a lot of people out here living with their health. It's like a ticking time bomb. They don't know when it's going to happen, but them strokes happening. Or they go to the doctor, they end up having type 2 diabetes. And so it's not just eating healthy. That's the answer. It's holistic nutrition. Understanding energy intake, your calories, your protein intake, your fiber. Okay. As we get up in age, some folks need to start having supplements, not like weight loss supplement, but health supplements, things that help you manage your stress, like ashwagandha, things that help you manage your anxiety. Because when you grinding hard, if you're a high achiever like me, like you want to get to it. you're gonna have moments of anxiety at times. Your body, your nervous system, it's just like your mind is like, I can go, but your nervous system is like, you know what I'm saying? And so using things like supplements like lion's mane can help you with your anxiety. Taking vitamin D3 can help you with your energy. There's people who are very deficient in vitamin D, and they can have serious health complications and end up in the hospital, because they're not getting much sunlight. They're sitting in the office all day, working at home, and it's like no energy. And they're wondering what's going on. They're deficient in vitamin D. And so these things are not fads. These things are what enhance what's already working. And so the foundation is nutrition. It's 80% of being able to lose weight. The second side of it is activity level, exercising. Not like a bodybuilder, but 3 to 4 days a week is all you need. You got to be active, man. Not just walking, but also lifting weights. This helps you manage your blood sugar. That way you don't have the sugar cravings in the evening. That way you're not binge eating in the evening or having brain fog in the early afternoon time because you're tired. Okay. And then the last thing when it comes to like holistic nutrition, when I think about this, is hydration. There's a lot of people. If you like me, you like coffee, you like caffeine. But if all you're doing is just chasing caffeine because your energy level is low, you have a bigger problem. Okay. You have a way bigger problem. And so you gotta solve the root issue, because you can be drinking caffeine and coffee and energy drinks, but if you're eating junk food all the time, guys, it's going to get worse. It's like having trash in your kitchen and you just spraying Febreze and cleaning up your house and like, you're like, dang, it smells bad in here. Gnats in here now. What's going on? Take out the trash. You got to solve the root issue. And so if you notice that you're tired and you have brain fog, you're tired mentally and physically, guys, it's not more caffeine. It's not more coffee, more energy drinks. It's let me dial in my eating habits, because that alone will give you more energy. Like a lot of people ask me, like, how fast can I get results inside your coaching program? I'm like, man, you can get as fast as a week. And it's not just weight loss. It's also your energy. I have coaching clients every other week that's like, hey, man, I know I just started, but man, I'm sleeping way better. Man, I just have more energy. I feel like I can do more. Can I go 4 days a week at the gym now? I feel like I can do more. This is what happens when you start eating the right way. And being hydrated by drinking water. Drink 2-3 glasses of water in the morning. Then another 2-3 glasses of water in the early afternoon. And same thing in the evening. You keep that little simple structure, you're going to have more mental focus, more mental energy. You won't have as much cravings. You won't feel like you're tired and exhausted by the end of the day, because our body and our brain needs to be hydrated. It doesn't become hydrated just drinking caffeine from coffee and energy drinks. It's just not going to work. You're going to burn out. And you're going to find yourself doing these things. I see people like this all the time. I spoke to this one guy. He actually joined my coaching program. This was maybe about 4 or 5 years ago. No, about 3 or 4 years ago. This guy was drinking literally, I thought he was kidding, 12 to 15 cups of coffee a day. I was like, how is that even possible? How are you doing this? This dude has 2 kids at home. Like, can you imagine if this guy is just drinking coffee all day and he continued to gain more and more weight and he ended up having a stroke and he couldn't be there for his kids. He couldn't provide for his kids. Like, guys, this is what's happening to people all the time. People are having strokes and heart attacks every other day. Sometimes we just live in our own little bubble and we don't see it. And so we don't know unless we're exposed to it from a friend or a family member or a coworker. Then we're like, oh, snap. Man, that was young. That was only like 30-something years old. I'm right around the same age. Some of y'all are in your 40s. Some of your friends and your family members are, going through health complications, and some people don't think it can happen to them. They just try to keep grinding in their career, pushing away, seeking that validation from their achievements in their career. They're winning in their career, but they're losing with their health. They're losing with their energy. They don't have the energy to be there for their family and really excel the way they really could in their career if they had the energy and the confidence and the image. All right. And so these are things you want to start focusing on. All right. Stop skipping your meals. Start dialing in your protein intake on a daily basis. This is one y'all should refer back to for real, because I'm giving y'all a lot of game. And then lastly, shift from just eating healthy to more of a holistic approach with nutrition. You do these things, you lose the belly fat, you get rid of brain fog, and you can also come off some medication when it comes to high blood pressure and type 2 diabetes. All right. Other than that, we out of here. Let's get it.
Yo, appreciate you for tapping in and listening to the podcast episode today. Hopefully you found it valuable. And if you did and you want to learn more about how I can help you lose the big ass stomach, transform your body, and get your health on point, DM me real results over on Instagram at JJacksonOfficial for more information. And I'll reach back out to you to do what I can to help you hit those health and fitness goals. Let's get it.